Welcome to Retrotopia, the podcast where every episode is a ticket back to the things we loved, the things we forgot, and the things that somehow seemed better before we had to pay bills. I am your host, Brian, and this is episode 147. And gamers, grab your grappling hook, strap on your parachute, and get ready to cause some serious problems, because today we're heading to the tropical island nation of Panau. This week we are talking about Just Cause 2. As Rico Rodriguez, your mission is to overthrow the ruthless dictator and uncover a truth behind your missing mentor. But with a massive open world packed with ridiculous stunts, explosions, vehicles, and one of gaming's most entertaining grappling hooks, Just Cause 2 quickly turns a mission into an excuse to catch as much chaos as humanly possible, so buckle up, deploy that parachute, and try not to blow yourself up, because in Panau, the only real limit is how much trouble you can cause. Now, if you're here just for the game chat, head about 30 minutes down the track and you'll run into the game chat proper. But before we do that, we have an intro to do, which we like to do, and we hope you stay for the intro. And before we even get to that, we have to do the plugs. So, if you could rate it 5 stars or rate it whatever you really feel it deserves, wherever you do, it helps us with the algorithm. Also, if you would like to find us on social media, you can do so at linktree/Retrotopia. That's linktr.ee/Retrotopia. Which also includes a link to our Dashery store. If you go to retrotopia.dashery.com, we do have some merchandise for sale. It helps support the podcast. We also have a Patreon, and it is free to join the Patreon. And at that free tier, you can take parts in the polls, like the current poll we have going on, which is in a current 3-way runoff. And it's our sequels poll. It's games we've covered before, the sequels of games we covered before, and it is open to anybody who wants to vote. Next, we let you chat with the host. We do have DMs on that, and you can write in about the game of the week and write to the host on the 9-bit banter box. You also get Quick Play, our short review series, as well as Retro Bites Neo. You get a bonus video part of the podcast. It's part of the Patreon audio-only podcast, but we've built the video section at the end of the podcast for everybody on the Patreon to enjoy. Now, on top of that, we also have the hero tier, and we get everything I just mentioned, plus you get to select a game for the host and a host of your choice to review on Quick Play, as well as our other series, New Game Plus and the After Dark, which is our pre-show warm-up. And you also get a shout-out like our newest heroes, Slithis the God and Mercury869. Thank you very much for your support. It means very much to us. Now that we got the plugs out of the way, it's time to give you, the audience, a chance to write into the host on what we call the 9-bit banter box, which is culturally elegant. First up, we have Munchie, who says, Brian, you friendly giant, I've asked your other co-host, but not you yet. If you could bring back and remake a classic game/franchise, what would it be? I keep going back and forth, but one that would be interesting, I think, is a remake of Silicon Valley. I don't remember Silicon Valley, but I think it was the N64 game, if I remember correctly. I just don't remember what it's about. But me, let's see. So many franchises I want them to bring back, and I know some of them they are. Like Splinter Cell, that was a great series. I really loved it, and I know they're remaking Splinter Cell currently, which, you know, based on the success of Black Flag, I feel like Ubisoft might put that one on the fast track. Also, I'd love to see Rainbow Six in the style of Rainbow Six Vegas back, very story-heavy with a multiplayer attached onto it, not the other way around. Of course, you got to have your Half-Life 3 with your Left 4 Dead 3 and your Portal 3, because all of those come together. Infamous is another series I feel like they've abandoned, where the technology nowadays could actually make really great games. Tenchu, because who doesn't love being a ninja? We just covered Resistance. That's another dead franchise that could use a modern remake. Or not remake, but like a continuation. I played Lufia 2 on the recommendation of a friend, and that game was really good. I would love to see them continue that series, but it feels like they never will. I'm pretty sure they just died out. But if I had to pick one, and I wrote all these games down on the list and I started thinking about it, but there's actually one series I'd love to see them do properly in the way they intended, and that's Xenogears. Because Xenogears, first off, the game itself was kind of rushed at the end, but Xenosaga was supposed to be a spiritual successor or prequel-ish almost to Xenogears. Not directly connected, but enough that it was supposed to kind of retell the story that Monolith really wanted to tell. And I'd love to see them build up to the prequel to what happened to Xenogears, rebuild Xenogears, and then make a sequel that carries a franchise forward, like a 3-game trilogy. And that would be my answer. Xenogears, if you haven't played it and you're into JRPGs, really good game. Next up, we have Fill Up My Mouth with Farts, who says, "Hi, Brian. You're at a good old Canadian cookout, cooking burgers. Are you a double cheeseburger type of guy, or would you rather 2 single cheeseburgers? I do the 2 single cheeseburgers. It's just the bun to meat ratio. Needs to be a certain amount. Too much meat overcomes the bun and other stuff." Great question. First off, I love fucking burgers. God, they're like 1A, 1B to wings, but I don't eat them like wings. However, going back to your question, if I'm doing a smash burger where the patty's a lot thinner, I'll do patty cheese, because you want the cheese to actually like weld those 2 patties together. If we're talking regular burgers, I'll do a single burger, but like I'll only eat one, but I'll do patty cheese, bacon, cheese, so that the cheese kind of puts that bacon on top and it doesn't come off until I want it to. I like cheeseburgers, but I like bacon cheeseburgers better. Bacon makes everything better, like a grappling hook makes every game better. So it's been a while since I've had a good old burger cookout. Or maybe I got to do that before the summer's out. It's going by so fast. All right, next up we have Retro Riders Podcast. Says, "Dear Brian, I'll keep this short. What's the highest elevation you ever hiked up to?" Nothing too crazy. I'm not like a mountain climber or anything, but there's been a few hills I've walked up. I lived in the prairies in Canada. If you don't know what that is, it is like super flat. So the highest thing I walked up on was like the curb on the side of the street. But moving to Ontario, we've done a couple of hikes up some, I wouldn't say mountains, but like trails that have a high elevation. So a couple 100 feet at best, nothing too crazy, but I'm never against going for a nice hike up the side of a hill, especially if I'm like ever in BC or British Columbia for you non-Canadians. That's where a lot of the mountains are. I remember walking up a hill just outside my grandma's house all the time. So I would do that again, yeah. So sorry to disappoint, nothing too crazy for me. I'm a keep my feet at sea level kind of guy. Next up, we have Old Man Gamer says, "So Brian, you're at a wings eating contest. How many pounds of wings do you think you could eat?" All right, so first off, I know somehow I became the wings guy here, which I am not against. I think Alan's a little jealous of me, so Sam, but too bad, boys. So I actually have a practical answer for this, because there was a time I tried to eat as many wings as humanly possible. Back in the mid-2000s, I lived in Quebec, and there was a Hooters, and every Monday, Hooters had all-you-can-eat wings for $9.99 with the purchase of a beer. Now, my wife was overseas at the time, so I really had nothing going on in my life, and I would go there and meet up with some of my coworkers, and we would eat wings, obviously, and then I'd go home to sleep and, cry myself to sleep. But the one time I went there, I was super hungry, and I ate 7 orders of wings, and it was a pound of wings at a time, and that was about 75 wings. So I think that would be where I could top out at. I'd have to be hungry again, because I was super hungry that day. I hadn't eaten, and they would have to come out in short order like they were doing until they realized that people were just like bankrupting them because they could eat as much as they could as fast as they could. Like, we would order as the second or first pound showed up. We'd order the second pound, and by the time we were done the first, the second was arriving in, so your body didn't have time to realize it was actually full. It was awesome. Those were the great days. Nowadays, wings are so expensive. Like at my local pub, if it's not half-price wings, it's $20 for a plate, and that is just ridiculous. Just insane. It's so good, though, so I only go there on half-price nights. All right, thanks very much for that question. Next up, we have Retro Salvage Games that says, "Oi, Brian." I don't think he's British. You've come a long way in your podcasting journey, and we couldn't be more proud. So in that journey, what has been your favorite episode you've done, not just a Retrotopia, but any podcast you've done, and what has been your least favorite? I've been fortunate enough to join a couple of other podcasts way bigger than this one, and discuss video games with them. I've started with Retro Hangover. They gave me my first opportunity to talk on a mic, Soul Blazer episode. I was way over-prepared for that, so I didn't know what to say or when to say it, but it was still a good experience. I love those guys. I've been on Retro Wars with Danny. He's He's been really good to help us out, give us a place to, talk and hone our craft. Sam has been on there as well. I've been fortunate enough to be on Remember the Game a few times. Definitely love doing it with him. He is definitely a talker, Adam Blank, so you got to kind of wedge your way in there every so often just to keep the conversation going. But if I had to really, really pick, I think I'll stick to our podcast. I'll pick from our podcast because I think it's disingenuous to say I don't like anything I did with those guys because I wouldn't have done it otherwise. But I think my favorite episode I've done on this was the Final Fantasy ranking I did, and not because I was alone, but because it kind of gave me a chance to organize how I really felt about Final Fantasy at the time. That was kind of my first foray into building a list with reason, I suppose you want to call it, like not in my life, but just for this podcast. And I know, like, if I was to re-rank it today, it probably wouldn't be the same somewhere from the middle to the bottom, but that's just how this goes. It's, like, very subjective, so... But I really like doing that. I really like coming up with the justifications. That one I put a lot of time editing into, so I think that would be my favorite. If I had to go with my least favorite, and this might actually shock people, but first off, the episode 0 we did of Super Mario Brothers, I can't listen to because it is just so what's the word? I don't want to say, like, it's not bad, it's just we've come such a long way from that point that it is just hard to go back. But the least favorite episode I have is actually the Chrono Trigger episode. And it's because I felt like maybe I was the one who pulled the trigger on that one. But I think I pulled the trigger too early. I don't think I was ready to properly talk about a game of that caliber, and I don't think I did it justice, so I would love to redo on that one, but I know I can't just jump back on the Chrono Trigger thing, because, people already give me enough shit for that. But, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. My favorite is the Final Fantasy ranking. My least favorite is the Chrono Trigger episode. Everything we've been doing lately, I feel like we're on a really good rhythm now, so I'm really happy with what we've been doing in the last, 50 episodes or so. Alright, next up we have Blue Yoshi 94, who says, "Hey Brian, what game would you..." Let me restart that. "Hey Brian, what game would be the best, and which would be the worst if the title was actually the game? Example, Silent Hill is a very quiet, low elevation." I sat and wrote some of these down because I got a list of games as I was looking through them. I was like, what could I do with these? So here we go. Fallout. It's a game about a player who keeps falling out of things. Dying Light. All it is all the bulbs in your house keep burning out. Resident Evil. You're a landlord and your tenant's a dick. Street Fighter. Someone who punches the pavement for some reason. Animal Crossing. It's just literally a game about animals crossing the highway. Ape Escape. It's a bad day at the zoo. Need for Speed. It's an obsessive-compulsive person's requirement to speed everywhere. Or, as I like to call them, Ottawa residents. Hi-oh! Sleeping Dogs. A Quiet Day at the Kennel. And, of course, Watch Dogs. What I'm doing at said kennel. There you go. That's the best I could come up with. I hope that was your intention, because I kind of, I don't know if I got, what you're going for exactly, but... That's what I came up with. Hopefully it meets your standard. If it doesn't, we'll bring it up at the next board meeting. Next up, we have The Big Deal, who says, "I have a question for you as an inspiring game developer. My dream of winning the lottery is to create the video game of my dreams. Regardless of what my idea is, don't worry, it's pretty cool. My plan would be to shop my idea to some independent studios and offer to fund them and their next X number of projects in exchange for making my game. But in exchange, I want to be heavily involved in the development process. Yes, I don't know the first thing about making a game, but I do have a very specific creative vision of what I want. To me, it would be like hiring a project management firm, but how much of a turnoff is something like that to a dev team, regardless of the money?" Well, first off, you're talking about taking the position of the CEO of the indie studio, since you have no experience, but you want all the opinion. But, I don't know, the first thing you have to do, like you said, is shop your game or do the pitch there. So you build a pitch deck, which you're going to hire somebody to build up for you, and then you're going to practice, and you're going to go in, you're going to go stand around a room full of people who might or might not, want to do your idea, and you're going to throw it at them. Normally, an independent studio wouldn't really be the one you pitch to because, well, their developers are usually developing their own thing. it'd probably be better for you to start your own game studio and find somebody who could help you to determine who you need to hire. And then at that point, they're your employees. You could actually hire somebody to guide you through the process and, you know, teach you the ins and outs of everything like that. I mean, why not? You got the money. And then you have complete creative control over the game being made. Now, the thing is, after your dream game is made, I mean, why not let them develop the game they want to make? Because who knows, maybe they have some great ideas in there that'll make oodles of money back. But yeah, the biggest thing, to answer your question at the end, how much of a turnoff is something like that to a dev team? Personally, if I had a small business of making games, and somebody came in and said, I'm going to pay you to make me a game, but I want like everything, like complete creative control, and you're going to teach me how to build a game, I'd just probably say, go to school, dude. And it's not like a slight at you, it's just, can you really imagine sitting there and being the expert of whatever you're doing in life, and somebody comes in and says, teach me how to do it, while you do it for me? And I don't know, just to me that just does not sound like a desirable thing. So your best bet would be the CEO of a company or the head of a company, a game development studio, and then that way they're your employees. That's what I would say. Other than that, pitch it to I wouldn't say a large developer, but a mid-sized developer, and then you'd have to give them creative control. School's your best bet to probably learn the basics, and if you learn the basics there, everything else becomes easy because they can teach you the specifics when you get to a job like that. So that's what I'm trying to do, and hopefully I can find a job in the industry afterwards, because I hear a lot of people are getting laid off lately. Yeah. Alright, finally we have Fallen Snow Kiku, who says, hey Brian, have you ever played the Tales series of games? Yes, I own Tales of Symphonia, Tales of Legendia, and Tales of the Abyss, plus my wife has almost all the Tales games on Steam, minus the 3 I just mentioned. Now, Tales of Symphonia, I believe, was the start one. Yes, it was the PS1, or it started on a Sega system. Don't come at me, I can't remember which one. But I have it on the PS1. Tales of Legendia is on the PS2, and I gobbled that game up. I love that game. It has such bad voice acting, and it's so consistently there, and I love it, every minute of it. And I love the combat system of it too, like the sprited, side-scrolling, almost action-y combat with RPG on top of it. Really well done. And Tales of the Abyss, I actually haven't even taken out of the wrapper yet, so someday. But I do love the games. I do love these games in particular. So yes, I have played the Tales games. They are just really good to me. I like the style what they go with. The newer ones went too far into the anime style, and I don't know what turned me off of that, but when a game like looks Genshin Impact almost, I'm not interested in it anymore. And there's another series, it's not Tales, the Atelier series, it also went that way, and I have the first 3 games of that one, and it just kind of turned me off once it started going too far into the anime realm. So that's my problem, my burden to overcome. But yeah, if you're asking for a recommendation, definitely play the Tales games. Definitely a good time. That's it for the 9-Bit Banter Box. Thank you, everybody, for writing in. Great crop of questions this week. Always love to answer them. But as we move on, we now have a little bit of an ad read for Retro Salvage Games. If you're looking to level up your retro game collection, we've got just the place for you. Head on over to RetroSalvageGames.com, the official retro game store of Retrotopia. Whether you're chasing down a childhood favorite, hunting the elusive cartridge, or just looking to grow your collection, Retro Salvage Games has something for every retro gamer. And because you're listening to Retrotopia, you can get 10% off your entire order. Just use the promo code JammyDodger at checkout. That's JAMMYDODGER for 10% off everything at RetroSalvageGames.com. Great games, great prices, and now an even better deal. Go check them out today. And it's time to reset the monkey paw this week, as we're going to move into our game show, Choose One, Lose One.
Ladies and gentlemen, roll up and choose your power-up from the game of the week. You pick a power, we pick a consequence. It's choose one, lose one, the game where everyone's a loser.
And first we have Mercury869. It says, I'd take a grappling hook and parachute combo for a quick movement around the city. I think that would be fun and a great way to stay in shape. I get that reference. Family Guy. always on a 10-speed guy. Alright, so you do get the grappling hook and the parachute combo, but unlike Rico, your parachute has to be repacked properly and according to government standards every time you use it. So you get one grappling hook, you parachute down, you land, you have to take it back to a facility, repack it into your poncho or wherever the hell he hides that parachute, is ours probably, and then that's the only way you can use it again. So that's how you get around town, is then you have to walk back to where you landed, fire the hook shot a second time, and then repeat the process. So it's not a really fast way to travel, but you are getting in shape with all that walking to the facility. Next up, we have Munchie, who says, I want Rico's awesome-looking outfit. I probably could just buy something similar, but I'm busy, damn it. Well, Munchie, you get that outfit. You get the jeans, you get the leather vest, you get the t-shirt with, I think it has a collar. You get the hook shot, you get the harness that has a parachute. Again, I have no idea where he puts that parachute. And you get the classy, snazzy boots. And that's all you get to wear. Forever. And I'm not talking about that's the only outfit you get to wear. I'm literally talking about that's all you can wear, and you can't take it off. So when you go to shower, you have to shower with it on, and if you've ever worn wet jeans, you know how uncomfortable that can be. Next up, we have Sharkbite, who says, I like the ability to know my way around the island without a map. Okay, you got me on this one. It's called a GPS. It's not technically a map. It is a global positioning system. But what can I take away from you? You know how to get everywhere on the map, but unfortunately, nobody invites you anywhere, so you have nowhere to go. So you just stay stationary at your one point. And finally, we have Old Man Gamer, who says, I want the ability to stop time so I can acutely play one of these games. I own 2 of them. If you own the first and the second, play the second. If you own the second and the third, play the third. If you own the third and the fourth, play the third. I'll say that much. But the ability to stop time happens. Unfortunately, you don't know how to restart it, so you're kind of stuck in this world where nobody's moving. You can't interact with anything, and obviously the game still works in the confines of time and space, and therefore you can't really play the game. So you're just kind of stuck in a endless stopped time world. And that's everything for Choose One, Lose One. I hope I did you guys justice, and if I didn't, I'll try harder next time. But speaking of trying harder, next up we have our favorite segment, the Gentleman's Interlude.
Well now, you listen here, Rico. You want to know what happened on Panau? Fine. This place was run by a dictator named Pandak Baby Panay, and the agency needed someone on the ground who could shake things up. That someone was you. You were sent in because I had apparently gone rogue. The agency thought I'd betrayed them and stolen sensitive information. Your job was to find me, figure out what I was doing, and bring me in if necessary. While you were searching for me, you teamed up with 3 rebel groups. The Reapers, the Roaches, and the Oolah Boys. They all wanted Panay out, but none of them exactly agreed on what should come next. If you want my vote, I suggest a good old-fashioned regime change. You helped each faction attack government bases, destroy infrastructure, and weaken Panay's grip on the island. Eventually, you found me. Turns out I hadn't betrayed anybody. I'd been working undercover, gathering intelligence on Panay and the mess he'd created. Once the truth was out, you and I worked together to bring the whole operation to an end. Then, if that weren't bad enough, they decided to immortalize this whole sorry mess in a video game developed by Avalanche Studios and published by Square Enix. Just Cause 2 was released in North America on March 23, 2010, in Europe on March 26, 2010, for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows. So that's it. That's Panau, Rico. dictators, rebels, spies, and enough explosions to level half the island. Just another day at the agency. Now get your ass out there and do what you do best. Cause some chaos, blow some shit up, and find out just why everyone's so goddamn interested in this island. Godspeed, Rico, and God bless America.
Thank you, Alan, for that. Again, week after week after week, you put out verbal gold, and we love it. But before we get into the game chat, which is coming right up, we have your opinions on the game. And first up is Topher Love, who says, this game was so addicting to me. Playing other games right after it, I would try to use the grapple. The huge explosions, the crazy heights, and almost endless freedom to grapple, fly, fall, and glide made this game one of my favorites at the time. I feel like it's an underrated franchise. It is. Personally, I think 4 kind of went too far with their kind of, I don't want to, what is it called? What would we call it? Like, it's really fun, but on the map, you have the factions kind of pushing borders and stuff like that, and it's something you have to continuously monitor because I think they can take over your territories. I just didn't click with me. I will sing the praises of 3 1,000 times, but 4 just didn't click with me the way I wanted it to. Munchie says, I love this game. I was obsessed with finding Easter eggs in it like the bubble gun and the lost smoke monster. I put lots of hour into it, never got close to finishing the story. That's the problem with open world games is you can get distracted. If you have shiny object syndrome, like everything is going to turn you away from that marker for the next part of the story. Next, we have Sharkbite, who says, I played 3 and 4. They were a fantastic sandbox game, albeit 4 was very different to 3, but I've clocked in over 100 hours on both. I'd like to play 2 at some point if I can find it. 2 is available on a lot of stuff. I think it's available on Steam, but it's not an expensive game to buy on any retro console. Definitely give it a play if you've liked 3 and 4. 2 is definitely going to scratch that itch. And finally, we have Mercury869 says, so I tried to play this game when it was free on PS Plus way back in the day. I kept seeing sweet videos of people using the grappling hook and parachute in amazing ways to just move around with ease. I was terrible at it, and the controls didn't help. I promptly uninstalled this game and regretted losing that time. I'm sure this game is fine, it just wasn't for me. Well, was it for us? I don't know. We're going to have to find out because we're going to get into the game chat now. So we are talking Just Cause 2, developed by Avalanche Studios, published by Square Enix, released in March of 2010. It was on the PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. Thank you very much for listening, and we hope you enjoy the show. So we are here to talk about Just Cause 3, and I'm going to simply say that I had to resist with all of my being starting this episode with the word all right.
All right.
All right.
All right.
All right. Anyways,
all right.
Yeah, that's right. We are talking Just Cause 2 this week, and with me, of course, is I can't even remember the name of the characters of the game right now. I got it. It's my American handler, Tom Sheldon. Actually, it's Sam. And one of the Reapers, I guess, or baby Panau. Alan, how are you guys? I had nothing.
It's apparently I'm indestructible. I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's pretty fun.
That is fun. Yeah.
I'm not indestructible, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. Tom Sheldon doesn't die in the game, so
I know that's true.
You are pretty much indestructible.
I died plenty.
Yeah, but you're kind of supposed to. This game's about trial and error. So, yeah, screw it. Let's just get into it. Like, I know, Sam, this is your first time playing it. So yes. I'm going to go right to Alan for a little bit of his history with the series itself. Is this first time playing Just Cause 2?
Well, I thought it was. So I played the first Just Cause, although I don't remember a thing about it. But, you know, looking at
a very bare bones game.
That's probably why. Like, it was probably something I played back in the day and didn't give much thought to. And I was like, I knew I'd played another Just Cause. And when you suggested playing Just Cause 2, I was like, great, I'm always up for another entry in this series. I enjoyed the last one I played so much. And then I realized that this is the fucking game that I'd played. I got this free on Xbox Live, like, God, years ago. And I remember I just got lost in this game. I sunk so many hours into this game. I did literally everything. And for whatever reason, I just thought this was Just Cause 3. So when I started playing this again for the show, I was like, oh shit, no, this is the exact same game. I had all the achievements, everything. I was like, oh great. Like, I'm actually quite happy to be back playing this again. It brought back a lot of very fond memories for me.
Yeah, no, it's a great game. I honestly was going to push for Just Cause 3 because I think it's a better game than this one, but I figured we'd ought to start with probably the one that I guess kind of fixed the formula because, like I said, one is just kind of a very bare bones game. Sam, now I know you didn't play the game before this, but what are your kind of first impressions when you started playing the game?
Oh, it felt like and I know it's not. This is probably an unfair comparison. But I was like, this just feels like third person Far Cry.
Oh,
There are a lot of
your
similarities.
hatred for Far Cry.
My hatred for Far Cry.
I mean, there are similarities between this and Far Cry, but where you sort of look at that as a negative, like, I fucking love Far Cry, so
no,
this kind of really spoke to me.
Yeah, and what makes this game a lot better than Far Cry, in my opinion, well, not really better, but kind of better in a different way, is how much of a sandbox game it is compared to Far Cry.
My God.
And that's its primary raison d'etre, is to be basically a sandbox game where you can destroy literally everything. But it does have a story. So I'm going to go over the synopsis here really quick. So bear with me. So you're going to be playing as Rico Rodriguez. He returns from the first game to the fictional Southeast Asian island nation of Panau on behalf of the agency. Now, of course, Panau is ruled by an authoritarian, like all Southeast Asian islands are, and this one is President Baby Panay because they couldn't come up with a better name. And his government has turned the island into a heavy militarized dictatorship. So it's your mission that begins when the agency loses contact with one of its operatives, Tom Sheldon, and Sheldon has seemingly gone rogue, leaving you with the task of finding him while investigating what happened. So you arrive in Panau and quickly discover the country is far more complicated than simply good guys versus bad guys, because there's three major factions: the Reapers, the Olar Boys, and the Roaches. One being a revolutionary fighting for political freedom, and second, a group of guerrillas, and the final one, a criminal organization. Now, Rico works with these factions, completing missions and helping destabilize Panay's regime. Each faction, of course, also provides Rico with information, resources, and opportunities to gain influence. And as you investigate Sheldon's disappearance, the agency objectives will begin to overlap with the political struggles that are happening throughout Panau. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, you reunite with Tom Sheldon, and your entire thing is to stop the evil Baby Panay, president of the island, from getting his way and shooting nukes that he conveniently painted in the color of the countries he's aiming them at.
Oh shit, I didn't even notice that. That's true. Oh, I love how
it's like labeling your stuff when you put it in the fridge.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. What's that? Label your cheese, guys. Label your cheese.
So what do you guys think of Rico as a protagonist? Like, does he come off flat, or is he at least somewhat interesting?
He's fine. I think that they did kind of make him vaguely. Is he South American? Like, where's he from? He's got like a different accent. Something? Yeah, something like
I don't know if his voice actor changes in the third game, but his accent becomes a lot deeper and like a little more clearer than this game was.
It just kind of seems like, and these games, the story of these games always just kind of are whatever to me, because it's always, we're doing this like this geopolitical work of like, American guy comes in and fucks shit up because it's a dictatorship in some tropical island. It's just that's why this gave me not Just Cause. That's why this gave me Far Cry vibes, because it's the same thing. Like, you're on this vaguely, in that game, it was like a vaguely South American or Caribbean island, and you had to fuck shit up, and now it's this vaguely Southeast Asian country, and you have to fuck shit up. It's just like American comes in, fucks shit up, leaves, like
Saves the day. America.
yes. It's just
yeah.
like, oh yeah, it does give that vibe to me, and it's tired. It's a tired old trope for me.
I think that like the character of Rico is such a indicator of the time that this game was made, because he kind of has that almost, what's that director, like Robert Rodriguez kind of what's the film I'm thinking of?
Like
Once Upon a Time in Mexico.
Yes.
Kind of like leather clad, leather waistcoat, you know, Hispanic accent, guns and more guns. And, you know, that was very, very fucking cool at the time. So, you know, yeah, playing this game back in the day, just like, all right, this guy's a badass. Like, I'm down. Like, I'm going to enjoy this.
Like if this were a movie, it would be Antonio Banderas for sure.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. This guy is modeled off Antonio Banderas, but I find him very, I don't know, like almost like the generic hero. He's not really the star of anything. He's just kind of there to be the deliverer of chaos. And I found him like very neutral of a character. Again, Just Cause 3, they put more character development into him, but I don't know if they meant that on purpose to kind of take the focus off of him entirely and put it kind of on the world of Panau, but I do like him, but at the same time, I don't really think about him after the game's over.
No. And like, I think a lot of that probably has to do with like limitations in like voice acting and things like that, and we'll talk about the voice acting later on, but it's pretty fucking bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So bad it's good.
Yeah, well, exactly. And that's kind of how the plot and the story of this game is. I mean, it is just so bad and so cheesy and so over the top that it comes full circle, and it's just fucking amazing. Like, some of the shit that goes down in this game is just like, that is in no way, no universe, no laws of physics ascribed to this shit. But because of that, it's just so just fun and bombastic and just enjoyable. It is a proper blockbuster sort of a game.
Yeah, and as with every video game trope, anything red is explodable.
Of course.
Yes.
Always.
Although that is helpful. I mean, I understand that it looks cheesy visually, especially when like games have the higher graphic fidelity and look a little bit more photorealistic than they used to, but it's helpful to know.
But it's a design choice because it draws the player to it. You see red and then you know it explodes, right? It's literally, I think the red barrel was what made that happen.
Oh yeah.
Like
I mean,
had they chose a different color of barrel, then we'd be saying the blue color is the one that blows up.
True.
Well, I mean, in reality, like any barrel could have flammable shit in it.
But it is useful because it's not just like exploding barrels and shit like that, because you need to do a lot of destruction literally in this game to progress the storyline. So, and just about anything that you can destroy is very brightly labeled in red.
And it is so much fun to just blow the shit out of everything.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how hard it would be to like clear a village, blowing everything in that village up if you didn't have that visual cue to identify that was...
there is times where you go into a village and you're trying to 100% it, and you walk in there and you're like 1% away from finishing the village, and you can't figure what the fuck you're supposed to blow up, and it's all destroyed, and the red panels are still like all over the place. But it's like this one little box in the back corner, and all you have to do is like slightly kick it, and then you finish off the town. That frustrated me sometimes.
Mate, it was like the power lines. Like you would get those little like electrical boxes on the power lines somewhere in the village, and I could not find those things for fucking love nor money. And I would be driving myself crazy just looking for that one last thing, because this is a completionist's game.
Yeah,
the map is fucking huge, and it is full of lots of cities, military bases, all the airports, all that stuff. And you get in there and you're just like, well, I've got a percentage of things I can destroy. I want to do 100% of the stuff that I need to destroy. But sometimes it can be so hard to find everything.
And what about the size of this map? 33 by 33 kilometers over 1,000 square kilometers. It is insanely large.
It is for the time. Crazy.
Yeah, and it just gets bigger from there. But I mean, considering how much you can do in this thing, like in this map, and the fact that it almost feels like it's majority forests and stuff like that, they did a good job of actually creating biomes throughout the entire world, where like you have deserts, you have snow, you have like jungle or old temples and stuff like that, and forest and cities, and like it's just so much to do, and it never gets boring to look at.
No, and you know, the trouble with a map like that, a map that size, usually is actually filling it with stuff that you want to engage with. And what this game does really well is just like, yes, it's a huge map, but there are so many like areas of interest that you can go and explore. You know, like I said, there's all the cities and the military bases, there's races, there's fucking extra challenges, there's all, literally the map is peppered with little dots that you can think, well, I'll go and explore, see what that dot is, or oh, there's a collectible over there, let me go and get that.
Or even then, you look at the map and you just like, it's so detailed when you look at it, and you're like, oh, there's got to be something there I can blow up, and then off you go killing again, right?
Off you go killing again.
I think the little race mini challenges was something else that reminded me of Far Cry, because those were in Far Cry also. Like just grabbing a random car or vehicle of some type and doing a little mini course, which are fun. Like that's a good way to break up a game that's otherwise very combat driven. That can be fun. But if I could weigh in on the map, I think this was one of my gripes. I think was that I messaged you guys when I was playing this game a little bit, and I was just like, fuck, this map is huge. Like, that's great, but also, throw in, and I don't know if maybe they add something later on, but like throw in a fast travel.
Yeah, they do. And that would be, I think when you get Tom Sheldon back from his little whatever, he airlifts stuff into you. Like you have a store from him, and then one of the things you can do with him is actually fast travel around the map.
Okay. That helps a lot. I wish they would have had it kind of to start with a little bit.
You got to earn it, buddy. You got to earn that. You got to take that helicopter and go 1 kilometer a minute.
Well, here's the thing is that like this island is so fucking huge that like I had cleared a couple of missions or like, I don't know what you would call them, but like little, do you call them missions when you
just call them missions?
When you talk to a faction, like go over here and fuck some shit up, and it's like, yeah, this is good time. And then it's like, okay, where's the next one? Oh, it's right over there. When you're looking at the map, and then realizing that this map is to an actual scale, it's like I got to get in a car and drive for like an hour to get over to this.
I honestly found that like a breath of fresh air. And I know the fast travel like near the end of the game becomes basically like a godsend, but I enjoyed getting into a car or a boat or an airplane or a helicopter or something like that, and I enjoyed actually driving from point A to point B, because as you're driving to point B, you're stopping and blowing up so much stuff. Because I think that's the point of the game, and you have to progress a story, like Alan said, so it's in your benefit in the early game to actually drive more.
I think part of what irritated me about it though is just like I would just want to drive. Like I would just get in a car and drive. And what irritated me about Assassin's Creed too, is just like, all I'm doing is walking down the street. I should not trigger any sort of reaction from anyone.
Oh my God. These guys are on your ass.
I'm driving down the freeway and all of a sudden, like I'm getting swarmed by dudes in like, Jeeps with fucking machine guns on them. And I've got like someone's sports car. Like,
I think that's also indicative of the time with the AI being not as smart as it is today.
No, it's just like it's like a proximity sensor more than it is an actual intelligent whatever.
I mean, in one sense, yes, but then oftentimes you are like the only dude dressed entirely in leather with a full arsenal on your back, parachuting on the back of a car.
That's true.
While firing off rockets at everything. And it's just like, yeah, well, you know what? Maybe I deserve a little bit of heat.
I didn't quite get the hang of it, but it is kind of fun that you can just like drive the car and then just like drive it off a cliff and parachute out of the car and then like hook shot to a tree and then launch yourself with the parachute.
There's nothing I love more than like jumping out of a jet, like as I'm going to someplace, instead of parachuting, just falling all the way to the ground minus the distance of the grappling hook, and just grappling your hook to the ground. Like you're forcing yourself into the ground faster.
There is
but
no
because you have the
way
grappling
that
hook,
works.
yeah, it does.
No, this guy would absolutely just fucking kill himself.
Yeah, as long as you hit the grappling hook before you land, you will land safely.
I know, and I've done it so many times, but that is
the way to do it.
That is not a thing. Like Rico Rodriguez took one look at the laws of physics and said, "Not today, motherfucker." Like, that you cannot be fooling.
Well,
at
he's
terminal
abandoned.
velocity.
Of course, he's not going to follow the laws.
You cannot fall at terminal velocity and then shoot a hook shot into the ground to pull yourself faster to the ground and not break every single bone in your body. That's why I fucking love this game, because it's just ridiculous.
The absurdity of it is just great. And let's talk about that grappling hook, because it is the core mechanic of the game. Like the whole game revolves around that grappling hook, and I love it. I love using the grappling hook to like scorpion somebody, like come here, and then you just like shoot them. Everything you can do with it, hanging off airplanes, like helicopters come, the bad guy helicopters come, and then you can steal the helicopter by hook shotting into it or grappling hook into it, and then you just steal the helicopter.
It's so smooth as well. It's just so well implemented. Like, and I ask you, has there ever been a game that wasn't improved by the inclusion of a grappling hook?
No, every game that has a grappling hook is better just for having a grappling hook.
And you guys were talking about like driving around the map, and I get that, using the cars, but in games like this, and I would consider this kind of like, it's basically a Grand Theft Auto clone with a coat of paint. So, it is expected that driving is the main mechanic. I never drove a car in this game unless I absolutely had to for a mission. Like, because I would literally just hook shot my way around the map and use the parachute that you've got.
Yeah.
And just basically Spider-Man my way across the terrain, and I found that so much like
until you got to the side of a hill, and then you had to go up the hill, and you come to almost like a dead stop as you're trying to climb the hill with your parachute.
Oh no, see, I got pretty fucking good with that parachute.
I was not good at it, so I would end up stalling out a whole bunch. And like I get the concept, and if I saw the idea behind it, and saw that like if you got used to this control scheme, you could get really good at just fucking slingshotting yourself across the map with this
it is literally the best way to travel.
I think the muscle memory from all the hours that I played this back in the day just came flooding back in one go. I was just like, oh boy, I remember this.
I forgot that this one wasn't the game that like the Just Cause 3 has a wingsuit as well on top of the parachute. So the wingsuit just actually like takes that whole grappling hook parachute mechanic and just puts it to the next level, because you can use the wingsuit while grappling to get yourself more speed.
I didn't think that could be made any better, but that's amazing.
I thought it started in this game, but it didn't. Like, this is why I want to like jump on 3 again right away. Like I'm jonesing for 3 right now, because 2 is that good. 3 is even better.
But I mean, just the fact that the core mechanic of this game is such a joy to use, like that, you will use that grappling hook. It's not just like, oh, we've added this in as kind of like an optional extra. Like, you will use it for everything in this game, and it always fucking works.
One of the best uses of it is to hook it against something like, say, against a tank, and then you put like a gas tank. Then you hook it on the back of a car, and you get in the car and you start driving, and it'll actually rip the gas tank down and cause chaos.
Yeah, like all those like baby Panay statues that you can hook to drag them down. It's just so fucking good. Oh.
Or you can like hook onto a helicopter, then hook onto a random citizen, and then it'll just like carry them off.
You can do that?
Yes.
I'd never tried that. Oh my God.
You're too good of a person.
Well, evidently. Well, you are the guy who would send your peons to their death in fucking, was it Warcraft?
Well, you have to. And this game's no different. The peons die.
You are the scourge of the NPC, my friend.
What are they going to do? Become playable?
If they ever become sentient, you're fucked.
Yeah. Okay, so outside of the like the grappling hook parachute combo there, the true traveling of this game is four ways: boat, land, like vehicle, jet, or helicopter. Now, I like the helicopter for when you're going to those oil rigs and you're taking them out, because they're bad guy oil rigs, and it's great just to take the helicopter with the guns and circle around. But traveling around the map, they are so goddamn slow. Like the helicopters, they should have some speed faster than a boat or a car.
I think the it's just their ability to cut across country. I mean, they feel slow, sure, but I'm pretty sure they're getting you across quicker
Yeah,
than
I
most.
get it.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think some of it
as
is
the
the
bird
scale.
flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just some of it is the scale of the map. Like I felt the
Yeah.
same way flying the helicopter, and that was part of it. Like you're saying, like, oh, it's just part of my gripe about not being able to get somewhere quickly. You're like, well, just jump in a helicopter. It's like I did, and then I was also getting attacked by other fucking helicopters, and it sucked when you can get an attack helicopter, but I think you can also get some pretty underpowered helicopters, and then they come at you
Oh,
with
yeah.
like fucking Apache. It's like,
Yeah.
where are you getting these?
I would
Who is
ask,
supplying you with these fucking helicopters?
has anyone ever properly landed a helicopter in this game?
Yes, I do it all
No,
the time.
I just jump out and let them
You
crash.
just jump out and let them see. Well, there we go.
See,
Now
when
we're
I'm
working, Brian.
when I'm in the mood to play the game as the game was intended, I tend to try to land things. I've never landed an airplane, but I have landed a helicopter. They're not hard. I mean, I'm on the computer, so you press shift to go up and control to go down, and all you do is slow your descent when you're near the ground, and
The
hop out.
irony of you saying playing this game as it was intended, Brian. This game was intended to be pure fucking chaos from beginning to end.
Well, I guess the way I mean is helicopters were meant to be landed in the game. Yes, I get it's supposed to be entirely chaos, but if you want to use that helicopter again in a few minutes, you don't just fly it into the side of somebody's house.
Well, that's somebody else's
Yes, you
house's
do.
problem now.
Right.
If they wanted me to land the helicopter, they shouldn't have given me a parachute.
That's a fair point, motherfuckers. And I love the parachute just like gets sucked back into his non-backpack. It's just this parachute that comes out of his like back pocket of his jeans.
Yeah, it's like, how many does this guy have on him?
Well, they get sucked back in. They don't fly away. You never see a parachute disconnect from them.
No,
He's
but they're not,
developed a parachute technology that even the greatest countries with the greatest scientists have never been able to achieve.
I mean, yeah, you say, you never see the parachute landing. I never see where my helicopter goes either, but I assume it crashes somewhere.
No, it just lands itself.
Yeah, maybe.
Can't prove me wrong.
I can't. Agree to disagree.
What do you guys think of the combat in this? Like, I found at the beginning of the game that you run out of ammo way too fast. Which I guess is supposed to stoke your desire to use the hook shot or the grappling hook even more.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I find it's fairly generous with actually locking onto enemies. Because a game like this could be really easy to just miss every single shot, and there is a certain amount of aim assist on this, but the weapons that you get originally before you start upgrading them, you do tend to have to swap in and out very often. But yeah, like you said, if you're mixing up your attack and using the grappling hook like you're supposed to, you can do a lot of good old fashioned murder without ever firing a shot.
Yep.
Just pull them off. Just pull them off, Brian.
Part of what I didn't like about the combat was just that, like, in a game that expects you to just basically destroy everything, I was running out of ammo an awful lot. Like, if you truly want to swarm me with enemies and you want me to blow up all these fuel silos and gun emplacements and all that shit, just like let me be. You want me to be Rambo? Let me be Rambo. Give me the big guns with tons of ammo and just let me kind of go nuts. Like, you can still make the game challenging by throwing enemies at me, but at least don't let ammo be a problem.
Well, that's the thing, is when you do have a lot of enemies coming after you, they are dropping ammos when you kill them. So you have to get over top of them to actually get that ammo so that you can restock yourself. But it's also a thing where you're going to go attack something. Maybe you're going to jump into one of the tanks, or maybe pick one up from another base and drive it down. So that way, at least you have some firepower with unending ammo. I think the reason you run out of ammo so often in this game is to kind of encourage you to think of doing something another way, so it doesn't become too easy just to have like the biggest gun and shoot your way through every problem.
It does admittedly become a lot easier though as you go on, because talking again about the supply drops, which one of the best things about this game is just being able to call that guy on the fly. And the faction missions, the destruction, everything that you do contributes to your unlocks in this game. So, you cause enough destruction, you do enough missions, you'll unlock a new weapon that this guy can drop down to you. You do enough of the collectibles, then you've got stuff that you can upgrade them with. So, doing everything in this game basically makes you a god by the end of it. And you can have the supplies drop down kind of middle of mission. Like, you could be in the middle of a firefight.
Yeah.
And if you can get away and get somewhere slightly more quiet, yeah, they won't extract you out because you're in the middle of a heat mission. But you can have them just drop you off a rocket launcher. How do you do? Thank you very much. And just the tables are turned. So I love that helicopter is the best thing.
Yeah, until you run out of money.
But then you get money from everything in this game. I never ran out.
Well, I started up my old file, like the one I completed in 2013, or like way, way back in the day. And I had over $7 million of fuck you money in that game. And when you finish the game, you're in what's called chaos mode, where you're just supposed to, I guess, go around and make chaos. I don't actually remember what it was about, but that's what mode I was in. So I just kind of went around and blew up anything that blew up. And of course, like Sam said, the second I stuck a toe out in the air, the friggin' coppers were on me, because we didn't say it, but you actually have a wanted level, and the wanted level is segmented. So if you cause destruction, it raises the bar a little bit. When you hit a certain point, you become wanted. And then there's, I think, 5 different levels of wanted. And every level, of course, like Grand Theft Auto, is going to have a escalated response.
It is very GTA like. I mean, I haven't played a GTA game all the way through, but I've fucked around with them, friends' copies back in the day and stuff. And yeah, it is very like, you're drawing the heat. You gotta go cool off a bit until or fight everyone until they leave you alone, I guess.
It just seems like the threshold for getting that heat gets lowered and lower, which I guess makes sense. I
mean, you keep blowing up their military bases.
I know. I'm such a deviant.
We really got to find whoever's killing everyone and blowing all of our shit up.
I didn't mention this when we were talking about blowing shit up, but the propaganda machine in this game, like when you blow up a nuclear power plant there's always like a radio message after it's over. And it's always like this propaganda where it's like, oh, no, nothing actually happened at the nuclear station. They just shut it down because they decided it was time to blow it up. And it's like always never terrorism. It's always just government decided to take care of the people without announcing anything.
I love the old propaganda machine in this game.
It is so well done. I think it's my favorite part of the game is when you finish a mission, you get one of those announcements.
Because it's so over the top, and it's just like, well, is that really so far from real life? I don't know. What aren't we being told? It's
The only thing they could add is a social media influencer in there, and then it would be just like reality.
Well, I mean, this is kind of before social media influences. I've not played any of the this has 4 games in the series, I think.
Yeah, 4 games.
And that's, I think the 4th one is on Xbox One. So it's been a minute since we've had one of these.
Yeah, and I have all 4 games, and I will tell you right now, number 2 is my second favorite, number 3 is my favorite, number 4 is my third, and number 1 is just, it exists.
I need to play number 1 again, because I genuinely
Is number 1 kind of like a Street Fighter 1, where it's just like, we know it exists, but no one plays it because it is just so rudimentary.
Well, it's the same concept as Just Cause 2, but think of it like a tech demo for Just Cause 2.
Yeah,
it's a lot of open area. I mean, the characters are kind of stiff. It's definitely like a step back, so a noticeable step back.
Is it kind of like the Saints Row series? Because nobody ever talks about Saints Row 1. That seems like...
Because that game took itself too seriously.
Exactly what I was about to say. It was far too much a GTA clone, and then they just started to go completely bonkers and out there. And
I don't think that's the issue. I think the issue is it was an ambitious project that they weren't ready to fully implement, so it just kind of fell. I won't say it fell flat, but it just didn't live up to what 2 became.
Yeah, could be. That being said, and
it's like a noticeable jump in quality from 1 to 2.
Well, you'd hope so, but.
Well, you'll see like a little bit of a jump. You'll have better graphics, a new mechanic and stuff like that. But this is kind of like jumping over the Grand Canyon level of like improvement.
It's like they decided, you know what? Like, what if we just made this game fun. And that's like, that is the main agenda, is just, you know what, let's just make this game completely ridiculous and just so much fun.
That's the secret sauce when it comes to sandbox games, is even though you have to guide them through like a story, giving them unlimited freedom right off the get-go. And that's what Grand Theft Auto learned, is instead of splitting the city into 3 zones where you have to unlock it, just give access to the entire city and let people fuck around. And that's what this game does. But they also add kind of reason for what you're doing as you just screw around the entire map.
Well, I mean, that's part of the problem with having such a big sandbox, because I blazed through this game this time just to get through it, and that made the story a lot easier to follow. But the problem with a game like this is that I will spend so many hours chasing the next dot on the map and just fucking around that by the time the story rears its head again, I do not remember what was going on.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's my problem with any like open world game. Horizon was a big problem with that till I finally just buckled down and started following like story checkpoint to story checkpoint, avoiding all the side missions.
I love that.
I had no idea what was going on in Horizon when I played it.
Yeah, it's because there's too much stuff to distract you. And this game's good because you can destroy stuff on your way to that next mission checkpoint.
Yeah. And it's kind of cool because, like I said, like the more destruction you do, the more story that you unlock. But they are very, very generous with how much you need to do in order to do the story. And I didn't realize this the first time around, because I would like, I don't know, my fucking ADHD brain was just like, oh my God, there's so much to explore. I'm just going to go off that way and see what happens. And, you know, never mind the story. But, you know, you really don't have to do much of it in order to actually get through the main story of this. Like there is maybe, I don't know, 70% of the map that I left unexplored this time. And it was enough.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a game that makes you want to go exploring. I remember playing this, and the upper part of the map was always like the last part of the game. And when you get to near the end of the game, you still have a lot of the upper part of the map left to go, like you just said. And it became one of those, do I want to finish the game now, or do I want to see what's up over there? And I ended up finding like the best jet in the game, which is the one with all the missiles and stuff, and crashes real nice.
Crashes real nice. So, well, I'm done with this now.
But you can still launch yourself out with the parachute. So that's pretty cool.
That's right.
Oh, if you're great, I think if you hit a button, you will actually jump out of the canopy and like hook shot, and you'll ride it like a bucking bronco.
I mean,
except for you can't control it. You're just on your way to death.
What is cooler than that?
Nothing.
I mean, this game really just said, you know what? It doesn't matter if it makes sense. Does it look cool? If so, can do. It's like hopping out of cars onto the roof. And that was some of the, again, I didn't do a lot of the car stuff, but I enjoyed hijacking cars, because you could literally parachute over a car and drop onto the roof, take out the guards, hijack the car, or just hop across to the next car, you know, take out the guys, plant a bomb on it, hop to the next car. And it's just like, it was so fluid and just so, I don't know, smooth.
Yeah.
I just liked, I liked being able to use the like little grappling hook to grab onto someone's motorcycle, and then it would just like automatically boot them off, like seamlessly boot them off, and then you were on their motorcycle.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's just like real life.
Yeah.
And I would want a motorcycle and someone would go by in a moped. It's like, that'll do for now, I guess.
Not quite as cool though, is it?
No.
It's like Rico Rodriguez just on a little fucking mobile hairdryer.
I don't even need a driver's license for this.
No.
But that's I don't know, it's kind of a good point, like segue into a point I was thinking about, was how alive this world actually is. And it's constantly filled with traffic, and people and all that stuff are all over the place. It never feels boring.
No, it is a very bright and vibrant city with lots of Brian's victims just wandering around, going about their daily lives.
Oh God, there's nothing like standing on top of a building and then just like hook shotting somebody. You go down, you like double leg kick them. They go flying on the ground there, and somebody's like, hey, and you fucking hook shot them, you double leg kick them, and people just don't learn.
You scare me a little.
Just don't give me a grappling hook.
I mean, I kind of want you to have. I'm like several thousand miles away. I think I'm okay.
3 weeks later, you just hear about a guy who's like parachuting himself across the Atlantic.
It's just like suddenly a fucking plane crashes into the Dartford Bridge. And
there's a Canadian who crashed into Big Ben.
Well, you missed a little bit, but I'm nearly there. I'm close.
That's all I know about England. That and like some guy named Chuck.
Yeah, he's up there somewhere.
What about the graphics of this game? Like, I find this for like, what is it, a PS2 era game? PS3 maybe?
Xbox 360 is where I play.
PS3 era would be, I guess, yeah. So it's a good era, and the graphics of this game are actually like just insanely holding up very well. Like the character models, the world itself, the fact that there's no pop-in the game, which I would think would be a big problem with the technology at the time, but you don't get like pop-in of trees and crap. I fucking love the graphics.
And considering like how much this game has to deal with at any given time, because you can take to the sky, you can drive, you can go any which way you want. Like, I don't know much about game development, obviously, but this game looks really fucking good for how big it is, how many moving parts it's got, and how many different ways you can traverse the landscape.
And how much shit's blowing up at any given time.
I mean, there weren't many games around that you could interact with the environment that much. I mean, I can think of this. I can think of, what was it, Red Faction? I think you could destroy the environment quite a bit.
I think Battlefield games are starting to dabble in the idea of destroying the environment as you shot things.
But no, it really holds up. I mean, listen, you can tell it's an Xbox 360 PS3 game.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely one of the better ones.
I've been blown away by I didn't play a lot of games in this era. So going back to, this is now, I don't know, our second or third PS3, Xbox 360 era game in recent weeks. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy. Like the jump in graphics from, I don't know, let's say like around 2010 to now, is not really that huge. I mean, it is, because there's, ultra HD ray tracing, whatever, blah blah blah, but it's just like you can still play a game from like even now at this point 15 years ago or so, and it still looks good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
And it's weird because I think like PS3, I still think of the blocky character models and stuff like that, but we are well beyond that by this point. I must have like some weird bias towards the that generation.
Well, you'd think it would be. I mean, because it was a long time ago, really. PS3
actually much closer in time frame to something like an N64 that did look very, very blocky.
100%, which says a lot about how that march of progress has slowed down in recent console generations. But
I think we've peaked on the big jumps from generation to generation.
For sure. But now that era was, I mean, it's kind of a golden age, really. I mean, there have been several of them, but I always look back really fondly on the Xbox 360 era as one of my favorite eras of gaming. I mean, not my favorite, but I've got a lot of fond memories of that console.
Well, it was the era where, this is just my opinion, is where they figured out like the graphical things, and now we had hard drives, which meant you could use more memory. You weren't like beholden to the CD as much, and not to mention Blu-ray discs, which were just gigantic in size. So they had a lot more freedom to actually do stuff. Plus, we're still at that point in game development where companies are putting their money on new IPs.
Yeah.
So this was definitely a golden age of the modern era.
I just think of like games like this, like Oblivion, just like those huge time sink games where I didn't have all that responsibility that I have now, and I could just sit there for hours and then literally not leave the flat all day and just play.
Skyrim on the PS3, or like Skyrim on the PS4, or Skyrim on the PS5.
Skyrim being broadcast directly into the medulla oblongata of my fucking brainstem.
Well,
listen to you, Mr. Fancy Medical Speak. Oh,
these
so
games weren't as I guess, well, as time goes on they become that way, but these games weren't really at this time like as dime a dozen as they are now with this like open world concept.
That's the problem fair. Is when something becomes popular, everybody tries to shove their product through.
Right. It's like online service arena shooters, like that kind of thing. Like they go up and they die all the time, and now that that's kind of saturated. Like maybe the open world has become kind of saturated, which at this point when I'm going back and playing one, I'm just kind of like, ugh.
I mean, but I don't think an open world game is, I can not really think of anything that's like this game except for maybe the Saints Row series, where it is about just chaos. It is literally about do what the hell you want and fuck the missions, but you're going to run into the mission anyways.
That's the angle, right? Yeah, that's the
God.
That's
I love
the
Saints Row so much. We're going to have to cover a Saints Row game at some point. Maybe not right away because they are.
Yeah,
they are
what if we talked about no planning during the episode?
What are you talking about? We always plan during an episode. It's one of our things.
Yeah. Also, I'm like, God, not another one of these.
Yeah, fuck you, Sam.
Give me a minute.
Don't worry, we got Pikmin coming up next.
I'm looking forward to that.
The best open world game ever.
I mean, go on, Brian.
Go. No, you go on, Alan. I'm about to change topics.
Oh, I was just saying, you could argue that games like this started that contribution to like the oversaturation of open world games, but it was very much at the start of things. Every GTA did a thing, and then there were a slew of games that came after that kind of tweaked that formula. But this was very much one of the ones at the forefront of that, and it was still fresh. It was still fun at the time, and by George, this game was fun.
Pip. Yeah. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Do you got any problems or criticisms about the game? Like, Sam, I know you had a lot of stuff that kind of didn't tickle your fancy right away.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've already kind of mentioned them. I might just have fatigue for this style of game, or maybe I'm finding that I don't enjoy this style of game as much. So I've already mentioned, like, I think the map is too big. Having it be to scale really is a detriment, because I don't think that, I'm in a video game. I don't need my drive across this island to actually take an hour. Like, so the scale is a little nuts. Impressive, but crazy when it comes to the gameplay before you can fast travel. Yeah, some of the things I mentioned, like having the emphasis be on
concentrate.
Yeah, exactly. Like, is that mine? Having the emphasis. No,
my fucking family's coming home like jackasses they are, which is setting the dogs off.
The worst. Ruining my train of thought. You should really lay into them in a minute here.
Yeah, I'm going to go yell at them, not even mute the mic.
Use the grappling hook.
I'm kidding, of course. Don't do that. The fact that it expects you to destroy stuff, but also kind of limits your ammo a little bit. Maybe there's a way around that. And again, I fully realize that I might not be playing this game properly or just didn't give it enough time, but obviously I didn't finish it. I played enough to kind of get an idea of it, but really I wasn't enjoying myself. So I didn't want to just kind of force myself to play something I wasn't enjoying. But yeah, just something, I think, just if you kind of piece together my little criticisms throughout, you'll kind of understand where I'm coming from. But yeah, I just didn't. I don't want to shit on it too much. It wasn't my bag, baby.
I'm starting to think that you just don't like this type of game.
I really don't.
So we are going to keep you to the Sesame Street so that you have something at your level.
No, fuck you. No, just you're like, that era of gaming, just for whatever reason, I just haven't clicked with a lot of stuff that I've played in that kind of PS3, Xbox 360 era, and that is the time that I got out of it. So maybe maybe there's something about that era, or maybe I just have this kind of mental block, or I'm just kind of sour on everything from that time period. I just don't know.
Well, fuck that then. We're gonna double down, make you play more. Like
Yeah.
Well,
glue your eyes
Alan.
open, Clockwork Orange style, until
Alan,
you
you have
enjoy
to
it.
have a criticism of this game. Do you have anything about the game that didn't tickle your fancy?
Like very, very minor, and it's not like kind of is a criticism, and it kind of isn't because it really fits in with the tone of the game. But the voice acting, as we mentioned, is
Oh yeah.
like the voice acting feels kind of borderline racist at times.
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Like it's that parody of like your Southeast Asian somewhere random. Like let's just get that kind. It's almost like fucking Team America, World Police, like that kind of parody of that kind of accent. And it's not even just the random NPCs. Like you've got the most American man in the mix. You know, Rico is kind of nondescript, kind of maybe Colombian, maybe Cuban, who knows? It's all just, I mean, but it's kind of so bad it's almost good. But it is
Yeah.
kind of laughable. So it's
It is.
hard to call it like a full-blown gripe, but I had to find something.
See, my thing is just how slow it felt to actually travel, and it goes along with some of the along the lines of what Sam said was the map is so overwhelmingly large. It would have been nice if you had vehicles that could actually like fly a little bit faster. And I found that the helicopter, as I was like just playing the file again just to get the hang of it, would bob a lot, and I have a big screen, and that bobbing covered my entire field of view there, so my stomach started turning a little bit, hence why I don't play VR. Other than that, no, I don't. I'm like you, Alan. I don't have a lot. The story was ridiculous, but I'm fine with a ridiculous story because it really does take a backseat to the chaos.
Yeah, exactly.
I did not to pile on, but like, Alan, I think you nailed it. Like I called it like geopolitical themes with, you know, American comes into, you know, third world dictatorship, fucks shit up, leaves. Like it is I don't know. You're right. It is a borderline, if not overtly kind of racist theme. I really dislike that. I don't know. I think maybe that's part of why it's not the gameplay's fault. It is 100% the story, but like I also don't like movies like this. Like it just feels gross. Like, you know, ugh.
You know, it's I don't know, this game was made in London, so I can't say it's American propaganda, but that type of trope is literally like America propaganda saving the world. And you're right,
Yeah.
like movies like that just turn me off.
Well, it was
Yeah.
the way that movies and stuff were back then. I mean, we
Right.
covered
It's dated. Yeah.
we covered True Lies like not so
Mhm.
long ago, and you know that we watched the movie with it, and it's just like, you know, those action films kind of were like that. And do you know what this? And it's just coming to me now, and I'm just thinking, like, if this game was completely reskinned and had the characters from Archer in it, would it be any different? Does this not feel like
Phrasing.
Archer the video game? Like kind of an
Yes, yeah.
espionage kind of game, but
See,
you
that
know,
would
Rampage.
that would be
I tell you what-
thematic to a TV show, so that might actually work really well.
Yeah, it might, because Archer is definitely a parody. So like when you're doing a parody of that, it's not so much that, I mean, you do have to kind of skirt that line and be careful that you're not being offensive, but also like you are lampooning the whole concept of, you know, American super spy blows up shit and you know, quote unquote saves, you know, the other. And like I'm just thinking about this game as an Archer game.
Yeah.
Just think of like the humor, like if they kept this gameplay and had it be kind of like an Archer game and had it be just working some jokes and that kind of a storyline, I'd play the shit out of
Sam. Danger Zone.
it. Yeah.
Oh, I love that fucking show.
Good times. What would you do to make this game better?
Turn it into an Archer game.
Yeah, okay, outside of that, if you had to take with what you were delivered, what would you add to it? Like, is there any mechanic you thought this game could have used to make it better?
I mean, now I'm thinking a wingsuit. Now that you've mentioned
Yeah, but
it,
that was added. So pick
but-
something original. You
but
copying.
you know
monkey.
what? I can't because it's
There was a wingsuit?
In the third one.
In the third one.
Oh,
yeah.
that sounds cool.
Well,
Yeah.
you
Sounds a
obviously
little easier
tuned
to
out the early part of this episode.
Oh no, I did. I missed that. I'm sorry. But like, well, the thing with a wingsuit is it's a little more realistic, where it doesn't just like fucking snap the dude's spine every time he deploys it. Like, the force behind this, the force behind the combination of this grappling hook and parachute, you'd break so many bones just like the first time you tried it.
But like, I can't think of anything you could do to make this game better. I mean, you know, I've
blow-upable shit.
Yeah, arguably. I mean, come on, the game ends literally with you fighting a dictator on the back of a nuclear missile. I mean, you can't improve on that.
A properly painted nuclear missile based on the country they're aiming for.
Yeah, and do you know what you do with that last one? So you disable all 4 of these nuclear weapons, and then you hop onto the last one with his baby Panay, and what does he do? He reprograms. No, so basically the whole idea of this game, and spoilers, whatever, like everyone is after the oil that is on Panay. Okay, there's a criticism, because that kind of felt like a bit of a cop out. Like there is this big mystery.
Because America would never invade another country for oil.
But this is it. No, you have to track down the mystery behind why the Russians, the Japanese, and the Chinese, represented by these 3 bosses that you have to fight, pretty much one after another, and just do away with them. And they're just like, well, why are they all here? What is their interest in this island? And you know, why? What are we doing here? And it just turns out, you know what? There's a really, really big oil field underneath it, and I was just like, really? Is that all?
See, in reality, what would happen is giant oil corporations would literally just make a deal with the guy in charge to give him oodles of cash while they suck the land dry.
Yeah, absolutely. But that brings me to like, you reprogram this last nuclear weapon so that it flies into the oil field that is on the island that you yourself are on, and then you just parachute yourself onto the boat with all of your comrades there and watch the nuclear blast from a distance that cannot be more than a mile away. And I'm just like, at that point, I'm just like, there is a mushroom cloud. Guys, what are we doing? Like, we're just chilling out here watching this. There is no fucking way you haven't just obliterated that entire island with yourselves on it.
Yeah, because, I mean, 33 kilometers by 33 kilometers. Let's see. Let's go to Google. What is the blast radius of a nuclear bomb? Hey, look at that. It already autofilled.
What's
his
That's really concerning.
Yep. Ryan's now on the watch list. I guess it depends on the yield and everything like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're talking about the biggest one on here is about 13 plus kilometers as a radius. So he could be far enough away from it.
Debatable. I mean, low yield. Baby Panay is not going to use a low yield. He has sent 4 missiles to different countries. He is going to do the maximum amount of damage.
Well, that was the maximum that was on the Google search.
Well, go fuck yourself. It's not going to work. At the very least, they're getting a hilariously large dose of radiation sickness.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely getting a coating there of not having kids.
At least.
Just like, those fucking eggs are boiled.
Yeah, no pitter-patter of tiny grappling hooks for Rico.
Oh, God, I couldn't imagine that birth. You just hear whip right outside. A kid comes, little parachute opens, and lands in the NICU.
Just grab the delivering doctor. Right.
Then double kicks him, and yeah. Anyways.
We've gone wrong.
I'm sorry, I'm picturing it. It's actually kind of funny. And just like this little baby, a little naked baby with a using his umbilical cord as a grappling hook.
Don't kick the baby.
Anything else you guys want to talk about before we wrap this up?
I mean, bringing up the music, which we always do.
Music?
We always do. No, that's the thing. The music in this game is actually really, really good because it has that almost cheesy spy espionage. Again, I'm sorry to bring it up, but almost like Archer. It has that kind of, I don't even know how to describe it, but you know, that sort of galloping espionage music, like the opening theme to that fucking show. Like, it's all over this game, and it just...
I honestly, maybe I was too busy blowing shit up, but I've never noticed the music in this game. It's mostly the radio stations and the propaganda and things blowing up and the terrible voice acting, but I never think about music in this game. Like, you have the title theme song, and that's the last one I remember.
Well, that's maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but you know,
It's just the title theme over.
I can hear it. I can hear it in my head right now. It is like it has left an impression, and it's just like, yeah, I'm ready to go blow stuff up now.
I
covertly.
This isn't music related, but I did like the sound design when it came to those. I don't know. They looked kind of like food trucks, but they were propaganda trucks that would be parked along. And then like the kind of spatial audio that they were able to do to kind of make it apparent that it was like nearby. And then as you got closer, it would get louder and stuff like that. That was really well done. I did like that. And a lot of the sound design was really good.
I believe that's called the Doppler effect.
It is called the Doppler effect.
Well, we've learned something today on Retrotopia.
There we go.
Right,
we're just dick jokes and dumb shit.
I guess then if there's nothing left you guys want to talk about, it's time to just give our final thoughts. And I think I'm going to let Sam go first because I think Sam needs to let some aggression out here, and this is his moment. We don't want to taint him with our answers.
Taint. I don't think... I don't think I'll unleash with quite as much venom as you think I'm going to. I just, I don't enjoy it, but I know that it's a fine game and that a lot of people will probably enjoy it. So that's all I got to say. No, I'll elaborate a little bit. Did you want me to slap a score on this? I feel like I barely played enough of this game. I got enough to get an idea, but I mean, I can give it my own personal. It's going to be a very, very subjective score because
just score the damn thing.
All right. I mean, I try to be objective sometimes. This time I'm not going to be. I mean, this is really driven by kind of my thoughts and feelings on this type of genre, which I mean, we all know by this point I don't really enjoy. So, I don't know. I played a good, I don't want to say 5 hours or so, 6 hours. I got it on Steam, which is really, that is a point in this game's favor, is that unlike some games like that we played in the past couple weeks, I mean, even further back, Prince of Persia isn't really widely available. Or no, is it? Oh, God, I'm talking myself in circles. Resistance was the one that's kind of locked on PS3. Like, what was the 3D Dot Game Heroes? That's locked on PS3. Like, there's kind of no reason for a lot of these games to be locked away on these consoles when, e-storefronts are a thing. I really think these games should be accessible, and this game is no exception, which is why I was excited that it was on Steam, and it plays really well on Steam and Steam Deck. So, I mean, if you are interested at all in this game based on at least what Brian and Alan have said, have at it, because it's out there. It's relatively affordable, and it is a quite meaty game. It's almost like if you've played all of the Grand Theft Autos to death and you're just kind of waiting for something to scratch that itch while you wait for GTA 6. This is a good like, I don't know, GTA like, I would say almost. I don't know if you guys will agree with me, but it did have that vibe of like, you can just kind of randomly steal someone's car and cruise around and blow shit up. So from that perspective, really kind of cool, I guess. My gripes, again, the scale of the map was just too big, I guess. And that is a weird thing to say nowadays, because it really is quite impressive that they were able to achieve something like that. But to me, it just felt too big. That's what she said. I liked being able to just kind of blow shit up, and that is fun. So that points to this game for that, I would say. Seeing I don't know, was it like a red star or something that kind of indicated that it was a like an enemy installation of some sort, and everything
Yeah.
was just kind of colored such that it was like, yeah, you blow that up, you get points for it, and that's pretty fun. I really enjoyed the first mission, and I was kind of bummed out once they opened it up and it was like, oh, this is one of these big fucking open world things. That first mission is actually really, really fun. You kind of crash land in this place, and you've got to like collect these data chips, and you're kind of infiltrating this facility that ends up being just like the smallest little speck on this island, which is kind of crazy to think about. Would I go back and play it? I want to say yes, but also probably not, because I have so many other things to play. But at least it's right there on my Steam Deck. If I really feel like, hey, I'm going to give this another go, it's easy to fire up. So there's that. I do agree that like fluidity of the game, I guess, like there really isn't a lot of there wasn't any glitching, or although there was a little bit of glitching when you're really like trying to take that grappling hook parachute combination to the limit, or like drive around and go off road. I think I did end up like getting stuck somewhere. So there is a little bit of that, which is to be expected in this time period, I think, or any game for that matter. Like shit happens, but by and large, the gameplay was really smooth. I don't know. I won't be as hard on it as you guys think I will be. I'm going to give it like a 6.5. I mean, it's fine. It's not a bad game. It's just not a game that I like. So I'm not gonna like give it a 2 or something like that. So like a 6.5.
All right. 6.5, higher than I thought you were going to give it.
Mm.
But you know,
reasonable.
Good wrap up. Good wrap up. I liked what you said. You know, you weren't too harsh, but you were fair. Alan, are you going to be just as fair or even more fair?
Oh, I'm going to be even more fair.
I'm most fair.
I'm going to be the most fair.
Can you be the most fair, or like the most?
I'm fairly sure you can be the most fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. Thank you. Listen, I was so happy when I put this game in, only to realize that it is the one I remembered playing before, because back in the day, I sunk tens of hours, maybe 50 to 60 hours into this game and just had a fucking blast with it. Obviously, like, I didn't have time to do everything that I did last time with it, because I really wanted to get a handle on the story such as it is, and just refresh the game mechanics, because they are impeccable. Like, the story will start there. It's thin on the ground, but it does what it needs to do. It is that traditional kind of parody of overblown espionage kind of thriller story with a little bit of mystery wrapped in there. And it's just like, well, got to try and go undercover and find out what's going on, except we're blowing up half of the island, so how does that work? But this is a perfect sandbox game for me. It is as big or as small a sort of commitment as you want it to be. I love that the destruction and the collectibles factor into your progression in the game. As we mentioned, the more that you do, the more missions, the more items and things like that you unlock. But you don't need to do an awful lot to unlock everything. After that, it just becomes, well, how much do you want to play in this world and just destroy things? And that's obviously the core mechanic, is the chaos. And it's so much fun. The gameplay is brilliant. There's the grappling hook and just the destructibility of the environment just make for a game that you could just switch your brain off for a few hours and just get lost in. It really is one of those really enjoyable time sink kind of games. The characters are basically archetypal parodies of what you've come to expect from this kind of game. It is an action movie in game form. It sounds more or less great, although I will argue that some of the voice acting is a little bit dubious. Again, I'm not even sure if that's a gripe or a positive, because I do like me some shitty voice acting. I do it for money. I don't know. It's fun. Out of all of the game Grand Theft Auto kind of clones, this did just enough to differentiate itself from the pack that you kind of almost forget that it's one of them. and I think that's an achievement all by itself. Yeah, that's going to do it. That's I like this game. I really do, and I'm going to give it. I don't know if it's a 9, but I'll give it an 8.75 because it's not the sort of game that's going to blow your socks off, but it is one that you'll kind of just look at the clock and like, oh shit, like 3 or 4 hours have gone past and I've just been having so much fun.
Yeah, no, that's an expected score. I'm going to say I was expecting you to give it a pretty close to 10. And I guess without giving it the 9, you got as close as we ever have. I guess I'll finish my thoughts. I don't really have a whole ton to add over what you two guys have said. I bought this game when it first came out. I have 78 hours, according to Steam, on this game, and it's all from my first playthrough, minus like an hour that I played just to refresh myself. I was addicted to this game. I would just jump on, and like Alan said, 3 hours would fly by, and I would just be blowing stuff up and barely moving the story forward because it was more about blowing the stuff up. We forgot to mention what the 3 factions really do for you, and all they do is to just push the story forward. But it was kind of a nice way to, not constantly run into the same characters and kind of have different reasons to do stuff. The story itself is a little bit ridiculous, and Alan said it. The voice acting is just god awful, but like him, I also love me some bad voice acting because it just feels like they were recording in 2 different studios without a script, and it just seems to work so well to be funny. The characters of the game, like I said, Rico there seems very just the everyman with an accent, and it didn't really feel like he was being developed into like a main protagonist of the series, which he does become in like the 3rd game. He becomes really animated. The world of Panau is gigantic, and I love it because this is what it's meant to be, and there's so much stuff to blow up, and the grappling hook itself is the best mechanic you can have in any game. I will fight you on that one. It just makes this game amazingly good, and the amount of chaos you can do with just that grappling hook itself, it makes it worth it for the entirety of the game. Combat in the game is, I guess, a little bit generic if you're just shooting or running and gunning, but it's still fun. Like, it's still fun to make forward progression. You're running out of ammo, and you either have to find an ammo cache or you have to run into where you killed an enemy to grab their weapon or ammo, and it just adds to the chaos because there's so much going on at any given time, and things are blowing up around you, which you can use to your advantage as well. Like, you could blow up parts of a base, and it'll take out the enemies with it. So it's not like they're invincible to their own destruction. It is definitely worth like throwing a C4 charge on something and running away and letting a couple of guys chase you, then blow it up there. And it's friggin' hilarious when you're not far enough away. Like, you're running away from the blast, but you get your back blown, you get knocked over and a little bit of damage. It's just fun. Plenty of vehicles to play around with in this game. Cannot complain about any of them. I don't think there's any vehicle that doesn't do what it was designed for. A car is a car, a tank's a tank, and a fighter jet's a fighter jet. There's a lot of side content and collectibles in this game just to help you search around and like give you a reason to go look for stuff. Very beautiful for a PS3 game. Again, I'm playing it on PC, so I get that a little bit of that PC bump on it, but it's still an absolutely amazing looking game for something that is well over like 10 years old. Music and sound effects. The sound effects in the game are just outstanding. I love the explosions, and like you said, the Doppler effect on some of the stuff you have to look for, the propaganda vans and all that. Didn't really notice the music. Other than that, I don't know. It's just really, really is an amazing game, and I'm actually going to go lower than Alan though, because I think that 3 did it so much better that it actually hurt this game for its score. So I'm going to go a straight 8 out of 10 on this one. And that's the curse of this game for me, is I never want to go back and play it because I would rather play 3.
See, I've got 3 sitting upstairs on the shelf, and now you've really made me want to play that. And I know I do not have the time to do that.
Yeah, no, you don't, but you will.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe in about 10 years' time when the backlog is cleared a little bit.
No, we'll get to it before that because I have a real jonesing for it.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, but no, it's anything you guys want to say before we sign off?
I think we already spoiled what's next, isn't it? It's Pikmin.
Yeah, Pikmin. Yeah,
I've never played a Pikmin game before.
I started it, and I expected to be like, oh, this is just another cutesy Nintendo game, but I'm starting to like see why people like this game.
Yeah,
I'm
Pikmin fucking rules, guys.
I'm assuming there are fewer explosions in this game.
Maybe.
You'd be surprised.
But everything I play explodes.
Is there a grappling hook?
Sam?
No, I don't believe so.
1 out of 10.
Minus
Spoil
the
the
point.
score.
1 out of 10. No grappling hook.
All right, so if you got nothing else to say, I'm just going to say that was Just Cause 2, and whether you loved it or hated it or spent 3 hours attaching a helicopter to a gas station because you could, there's really only one thing left to say, because sometimes you don't need a good cause, you just need a just cause. We'll see you next time.